Can I read something that you actually wrote?
Yeah.
It says, almost a year ago, a South African kid left home with a suitcase and a keyboard.
This guy stole my notes.
That same African kid was given an opportunity to produce a song for Beyoncé. That kid is me, and I'm humbled. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
How? How did that happen? How did that get set up?
So I met a woman who worked at Universal, Universal Music Publishing. She had just taken a job. I've been trying to get a meeting there for some time, and I just couldn't. And so,
was it still in your first year in the States?
First year in the States, I'm trying to get this meeting at Universal, and no one's really taking it. Eventually, I think someone left the company or gets fired or something, and then there's a new woman who comes in.
Let's call him Chad.
Yeah, Chad gets fired.
Chad gets fired.
And then
Chad gets his ass fired.
A black woman by the name of Ari Galore, shout out black women, come into it, and she was like, "Oh, I'll take the."
Wow.
I'll take the meeting with this African kid. And so I get in there and she's like, okay, show me what you have. And I start playing things, and immediately she just picks up her phone and just starts doing this.
Wow.
So now I'm like, yo, I'm blown. She's bored.
Exactly.
Like usually when an exec does that, it's done. It's done. And so she picks up her phone and just starts saying, I'm like, flip. But I'm just playing her records. And then she's like, what are you doing on Monday? So I'm like, I think I have class on Monday, but
I'm going to school on Monday.
Yeah, and she's like, cool, you have a meeting at Parkwood. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's Parkwood? Okay. She's like kind of looks at me like, what do you mean? Like, it's Beyonce's label. So I'm like,
Beyonce?
I mean Parkwood.
Parkwood.
And so you say the Ivy?
No, there is no Ivy. That's the thing. It's just Parkwood. Parkwood Entertainment. And so we just show up. Monday comes, I'm so nervous, and you go there and it's this massive building just off of Times Square, and you walk inside, you tell them, hey, I'm going to the certain floor, and you know how, I mean, guys, when I say that Beyonce's team moves like the CIA, I mean, it's off the grid, no one knows their next move. Like, you walk into the lobby and every floor tells you exactly what company it is, right? It might be like SpaceX, Tesla, like it has all of that.
So you know exactly where you're going.
Her floor doesn't have the name.
Hey,
so you just say, hey, I'm coming to what, and they sign you in. You go upstairs, you buzz the door, they go, you open, and as you walk in, they say, sign the NDA.
Like, immediately
at the door before you even cross the threshold. And so I went over there and just had a meeting with a woman there who is one of the A&Rs. She's still there. She's amazing. Her name is Mariel Gomez. And I just played her records, and I was like, all I know is that they liked the African music that I was doing, the Afrobeat stuff. And so I went in there, I was like, I'm just going to be a resource and just like speak about music in the way that I know about it.
And you're out here being Bubele, bro, and you're playing her your African beats, bro, and you just like, you be yourself. I like that part of the story.
And that was it. And then I didn't hear from them for like 8 months.
Crazy.
And then
how were you feeling in those 8 months though, eh?
I tried.
Let's talk to the feelings.
No, dude. That thing, when I tell you it was the most tumultuous time of my life. And it was crazy, up and down. So I don't hear from them. I'm like, oh, it's dead. 8 months later, I'm in LA on my first ever riding trip, sleeping on a friend's couch, and I'm about to leave the next day. And then, no, not the next day, that same day, I'm actually about to go to the airport in 2 hours. And then I get a call, and it's Mariel. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. She's like, cool. Listen, where are you? I'm like, oh, I'm in LA. I'm just about to leave. My flight's in 2 hours. She's like, don't get on the plane. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, don't get on the plane. I'll be back. And she drops the call. So now I'm like,
movie shit, bro.
Okay, dude, I physically can't afford to buy a ticket home.
Yes.
Like, I can't afford to buy a new ticket. So, literally, so I was like, okay, I'm going to wait 45 minutes. At 45, I'm calling my Uber because I can't, if I miss my flight, she's not going to pay for it. She's like, oh, sorry, nothing's happening.
No story.
So,
bro, now I'm stuck in LA.
So then I'm like, all right, no, what's going to happen? Again, the CIA comes back with it. As it's like 43 minutes before, and I'm like, I'm going to call my Uber in 2 minutes. I get an email from Mariel. New ticket, my government name, and like everything is just there. I'm like,
when did this happen?
And then they send the car.
In the NDA.
They send the car. Pick me up and.
You get kidnapped, brother.
My boy. No, making it look cool.
I thought about it multiple times.
Get style.
And then they took me to this like apartment. What do you call it? Hotel in Beverly Hills, like a little boutique hotel in Beverly Hills. And they spent the night. They're like, be ready tomorrow at 2. The next day at 2. A car pulls up, you just get in, the blacked out stuff. Get in, you go to this unmarked location in LA. Hit a like buzz on the door. Sounds like a prison cell. You like walk down this pathway that I remember so distinctly because it's just black.
Wow.
But back is just like an exit sign that just looks demonic, like you're walking towards your death. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I know, guys, you got me.
And I open the door, and there's just a bouncer, just name, and you just give him your name and goes, cool. And then it's this beautiful building that, like, it's their office building. And at that point, they'd converted.
Different universe.
Yeah, they converted their office building into multiple studios. So it's like, there's the documentary that speaking about the album. At that point, we still don't know what we're working on. Yeah. It was multiple little.
What you hear in the CIA shop, bro. You
Yeah.
know what you're working on.
Don't know what you're working on. You get there, then there's multiple little rooms. There's like 9 little studios, and then that's when they tell us, this is what we're working on. This is what we're going to be doing. The aim of the game is just make as much music as you can.
How many people are you there with at the time?
It depends on the day. Like, I think they ran that camp for a month or so.
Okay. That's nice.
So, yeah, I was there for a week, and I got to meet, like, there was just big names in and out, and like the biggest of the big names are there, and you're getting to be in rooms with people who are like, yo, dude, I gotta go. I'm on with Big Sean in 20 minutes. I'm like, what? Like,
excuse me?
like crazy things. Yeah, but it's amazing because, like, when you're in a space like that, there's no real ego because you're all just trying to get records on this thing. And if you've made it to this point, they respect you. Even though I was by far the least qualified person in any of those sessions, everyone's like, you're hip, you're here for a reason. So
exactly, we have to treat you with that respect.
you treat, and you're literally there like, I'm like, yo, why don't we do this? And I'm like, hey, yeah, the guy's like, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, bro, you have like 10 songs with Kanye and you're taking my advice. You know, that's like a very weird thing, but that's, I think, where I got this thing of like, it doesn't really matter. Once you're in the creative zone, it's just about that.
Please can you run us through the day you found out that something that you worked on was going to actually be on the album?
The first day, so there's multiple stages. The first day, I was in Joburg driving home. I get a call from Marielle again. She's like, what are you doing? I'm saying, I'm driving home. She says, pull over.
Stop doing this, Marielle. My heart.
That is good for you.
My heart.
You can't just be giving big news like that.
Bro, now the car's going like this.
Pull over. She's like, my boss likes your song. And I'm like, who's your boss? She's like, I can't legally say her name. And I'm like, oh.
CIA.
All right.
And she's like, NDA too,
she's like, okay, we're going to send you a contract and then we'll take it from there. I was like, cool. That was it. Didn't hear back from them again for 8 months. And then I get an email saying, the track list is dropping tonight. You are not supposed to speak about this. Do not take any interviews. Before the track list is coming out, you are not supposed to speak about anything. Don't take any interviews, anything like that. Just the track list is coming out. They don't want anyone speaking about anything. So I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good sign. Like, but I also don't know if they've sent that to everyone who was at the camp. Because typically what happens is they just take the song and they disappear, right? So I'm like, okay, I think this is a good sign. And then the track list comes out, and then I kind of see a title. I'm like, I think that's the thing, but I'm not sure. I think it is. I'm not sure. And then eventually I get a call from Marielle, and she's like, can I play you something? I'm like, yeah. And then over the phone, very badly, she basically took the phone and put it to the speaker and played the song. Exactly. And I was like, whose voice is that? She's like, you know. And I was like, find your way back. Okay.
I had
no idea. But even then, she's like, there was some legal things that we had to sort out. So it was just a mess. And that was the up and down. There I was like so scared. I was like, I'm going to get sued. It was a whole thing that was really intense. And I didn't have a lawyer at that time. And that's one of the biggest advice when I'm saying, if you're in the music industry, get a lawyer. Because I got hurt. But I learned school fees. It was bad. It was really bad. And I learned some things along the way. So, positive experience, but it hurts when I learned certain things of how the music industry works if you don't have representation. And still I was like, okay, cool, I've heard her voice on it over the phone. I don't know anything. And then the day, still I don't know if the song is out. And then the day that it came out, I played song number 1, nope. Played number 2, nope. Played number 3.
Wow.
And then I heard the beat and I was like, oh my God, that's it.
We did!
And that was it. That was it. And I just went into my parents' room. I was like, wow! Like,
Let's talk about the song, bro. Like the name. Can I mention the name?
Yeah.
Find Your Way Back. Banger. What's the story behind the song? Like, how did you come up with that concept? Like, what's going on?
So with that song, the person who wrote the top line is this writer named Stara. Stara is dope. Like, one of the biggest writers in the game, and she wrote the top line. Yeah. I did the beat. Yeah. So me and my friend Robert McGuenzi, and we did it in Joburg like over December, one random day.
We came from South A.
We were literally in the lounge, and he had his guitar, and we just like made this beat, the two of us, in like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just chilling. And then it sat on my hard drive for years.
Did you think much of it at the time?
I loved it. I did love it. And whenever I pitched it or showed it to other record executives, they're like, nah. So I had it for about 2 years.
Bro, it wasn't meant for them, bro. It wasn't meant for them. Yeah. Literally said it's not for me. Sorry.
Yeah. That was it. And I'm glad that happened, right?
100%. So, it worked out, man.
Yeah. So.